This is the DJI Nano versus the Insta360 Go Ultra in a very controlled studio environment so that you can hear the audio, see the video, and get an idea of what you could expect out of something like this for comparisons. So the cameras are at 4K 60, they're both at 4K 60. The shutter is at 1/120. The white balance on both cameras is at 5600 Kelvin, so it's all very controlled. The ISO is different. The DJI Nano ISO is set to 400, whereas the Insta360 Go Ultra ISO is set to 200, and that was to try and get a pretty close image out of them at the same time. I know that means the ISO is a little bit different, but the DJI was looking a little bit darker at 200, so I just lifted it up a little bit. They're both at the highest bitrate, so you're getting that kind of quality. And one thing that I will say is I just ran the Nano for 40 minutes recording. I did 10 minutes while it was connected to the Vision Pod, and then I let it go for 30 minutes on its own. The Vision Pod dropped 10% over the course of those first 10 minutes, and then when I took the camera off, in the next 30 minutes, the camera dropped down to 39%, the DJI Nano. So 30 minutes of 4K 60 took the camera from, it was 100% down to 39%. Just in case you're wondering, that's what you could expect. And then when I plugged it back into the pod, the Nano, actually I'm back on the Ultra right now, but the Nano was not able to charge. It came up with an error message that said it won't start charging the camera until the temperature has gone down. What I will say is I did not have any overheating issues with the camera while it was recording. It just did its thing. And it didn't even feel that hot to the touch, so I'm not quite sure why it did that, but it didn't. And what I will say is I have voice isolation turned on for the Insta360 Go Ultra, and I have the audio just set to the normal settings for the DJI, and it's got a front-facing mic and then a side-facing mic as well. And I do think that from what I tested just a little bit ago, that the Go Ultra audio sounded significantly better than the DJI's audio. And I'll put a little thing down at the bottom of the exact DJI settings for this thing. But that's kind of where we are. So if you're someone that was trying to figure that out, the cameras are at the exact same distance from me. They're both at the exact same height. There's a slight angle with the DJI because just that's how I had to do it to make everything fit correctly. But overall, what I can say is both of these cameras, from me looking at them, do a really good job of like getting good quality. It seems like the Nano has a little bit sharper image, like it's sharpened, and I tried to bring that down a little bit. I have the smoothing setting for the Ultra set down to the lowest setting, so there's that just for consideration. I try and get that sharpness down, and I mean, to me, both cameras have a really good image coming out of them. The DJI seems to look almost, you can't even differentiate it between like the pocket camera, I would say. The biggest thing might be like the focusing stuff, but if I bring this up here, you can see, like, look at my hand in focus when it's closer versus the Ultra. And I think that's where you're going to start to see a pretty big difference. Like I've got the DJI Mic 3s right here, and you can kind of see, well, it's not really well lit, but that gives you an idea of like focusing distance for these guys between them. And I'll do some other stuff with focusing. Let's see if I turn that light on, if that would help you guys a little bit, maybe a little bit. Oh, there went my cords. So that's what you can see, and I went ahead and did split screen so you guys could get a better idea of that kind of thing. And I will say that like the fact that the Nano can go underwater and get good video without having to switch out the lens is kind of a nice feature. It's definitely something that I'm excited to be able to use, but I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this right now. The Nano is still at 38%. The Vision Pod is down to 75% after all of the recording, and I left the Vision Pod on for the full 40 minutes of recording. It just wasn't connected for the last 30 minutes. And the Go Ultra just does a great job. I found with the battery, I've never had any battery issues. Currently, after 4 minutes of filming with the Ultra, I'm down to 10% on the actual pod, and the camera is still at 100%, obviously. So a little bit of a difference there since they started recording at different times. But I wanted to give you guys a really good look at the audio and the video out of these two cameras and give you a chance to decide under a very controlled setting what it would look like. So I hope this helped you. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm about to put out a ton of content on these two cameras, and my goal is to give you the information you need on the stuff that you want so you can make the better buy, which means we are going to get nitpicky. We are going to get into the details, and if those matter to you, then that will be helpful, and if they don't, then breeze on. All right, so you're either going to sink or swim. Let's rise with the tide, and I'll see you on the flip side.